What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Finance Guy TV. How you doing? In this episode, we're going to be talking about 5 tips for analysts starting in finance at Amazon. This is basically the coffee chat that I have with new hires in week 1, and so I'm going to share that with you today. Tip number 1 I have is be useful quickly. What do I mean by that? It could be very tempting when you come in to put your head down for a few weeks or months and try to learn everything about the business, get yourself started. But my advice is find something really small to solve and bang it out in that first week or two. The reason is reputation. Okay, you're gonna come in, make the first impression that your presence immediately adds value, and you're gonna let people know that you mean business. That plays right into our second tip. This is kind of be a strategy of how you implement tip number 1. I like to call this one solve problems. Don't create solutions. What do I mean by that? Get out there and talk to your customers right away about what's bothering them. Your customers could be your supervisor, other finance team, your business partners. Talk to them and say, listen, what's the most useful thing that a finance guy like me could do that would help you out this week? Just cheat. Ask for the answer and then execute. You're brilliant. That's how you got here. Don't go sit at your desk for a month, scratching your head, toiling away, and coming up with like the most amazing solution, because honestly, you'd be lacking that feedback loop. So be useful quickly and do so by solving specific problems. Don't invent solutions that you think would be useful, okay? Tip number 3, start with the micro. On this one, get in and be super clear from the get-go. What are the deliverables that you're gonna be responsible for? And then focus on the minutia of those items. The reason I give this tip is because I wanna warn against this idea of thinking big right away. Your job is not to come in as an analyst and solve the whole business. The value that you're gonna bring is in knowing the minutia of the things that are in your lane. So the models that you're responsible for, or the tables or the metrics that you need to build, know every single cell, know every formula, know every data source, know every attribute, every row, every column, okay? Know everything about it, and focus on the micro. This is gonna be the building blocks for you to think big, okay? You're gonna get in there and you're gonna think big eventually, and it's gonna be based on this foundation of knowledge. But remember, as an analyst, this is the value that you bring to the table. The 4th tip, my foot's falling asleep, damn. The 4th tip that I got is, here's some strategies for one-on-one meetings. Your first week, your boss is probably gonna give you a list of people that you should be meeting with to talk about the business, start to make relationships. My advice is start these one-on-one meetings right away. Get in that first week, those first 2 weeks, and just begin talking to your customers, and don't wait months to do this. Again, this is going back to that concept of solving problems, don't create solutions. You wanna operate with a constant feedback loop of how your presence can be useful to other people. Now, this can sound intimidating, but I've got a second strategy for one-on-one meetings, and that is as follows. Ask everybody the same thing. Sounds a little bit weird, but what I mean is go in and ask everybody the same 2, 3, 4 questions, because this will allow you to do a couple things. 1, it makes it much easier to prepare. 2, you'll get a great lay of the land of what issues are personal problems for people and what issues are maybe you're hearing over and over again. They might be systemic issues, and you could take note of that. But you'll know a lot about the organization if that's how you operate. The last tip that I have, this is kind of more of a mental model, but there's gonna be 3 buckets for everything that you're gonna learn. Everything's gonna fall into one of these. Either the data, it's either people, or it's economics, okay? The data, where is it, how do you get it, how do you know it's right? The people, you're gonna learn who does what. And the economics, how does this business fundamentally work? What are the inputs within our control? Which ones are the most important? How do they translate into cash flow, okay? I don't even know how that's tactically helpful. It's just kind of comforting to me, all right? It's like a little mental file cabinet. So anyway, those are the 5 tips I give to people when we have our coffee chat week 1. I hope it can help you guys out. You know, if you got any more questions, reach out. Maybe we actually grab a real coffee someday. And since you already know this, we could talk about bikes or music or whatever. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and break a leg. All right? Later.